Aloha, it's Kiana, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, huge mahalo to Long's Hawaii for sponsoring the show. Head on over to your neighborhood Long's for all your shopping needs. Former Governor Ben Cayetano has apologized after making controversial statements about a law that bans speaking Native Hawaiian in Hawaii schools. Earlier this week, Cayetano questioned why he never knew any Native Hawaiian classmates who were being in school for speaking Hawaiian. He also asked whether the ban was an official law or regulation. The comment was in response to a Star-Advertiser article published Monday about a state house resolution that apologizes for a 90-year ban on speaking Hawaiian and other non-English languages in public and private schools. An 1896 law passed by the provisional government and carried forward to 1986 required that only English be spoken in school settings. Some lashed out at the former governor, while others provided lessons in Hawaiian history and language. The post also drew responses from prominent Hawaiian activists and experts. The victim of a shooting that took place in Waimanalo Saturday night has been identified. The Honolulu Medical Examiner's Office identified Suliasi Pakileata as a 19-year-old Salt Lake man who was found dead in a small neighborhood supermarket parking lot. No further information about the cause or manner of death was provided. Honolulu Emergency Medical Services found Pakileata in the parking lot of Shima's supermarket along Kalanianaole Highway at about 7:45 Saturday night. He had sustained an apparent gunshot wound. His girlfriend told police that they had stopped at the supermarket to get something to eat. She stayed in the car and was on the phone when the incident occurred. When she looked up, Pakileata was on the ground. The case has been classified as a second-degree murder. No arrests have been made. The future of the Hawaii Tourism Authority is once again up in the air. State House and Senate members left out HTA funding when they approved a final version of the state's $17 billion supplemental budget for the upcoming fiscal year. Funding can come through two separate proposals, but if neither bill advances, HTA will be defunded. Lawmakers must reach an agreement and pass at least one of the measures today to secure a budget for the agency. Both measures would bring major changes to the HTA and have an impact on the state's tourism industry. If a related House bill passes, HTA would be under tighter legislative control. A Senate measure funds HTA with no strings attached, but also creates an additional agency called the Natural Resource Management Commission. HTA was established in 1998 through a legislative act to serve as the state's lead agency supporting tourism. Lawmakers have taken a more cautious approach with HTA over the past few years as public sentiment toward tourism has fallen. A prison inmate in Colorado has tested positive for bird flu. It is the first recently confirmed case of a human infected with the disease, which has resulted in the deaths of millions of chickens and turkeys in the U.S. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the man had been in a pre-release program and was helping to remove chickens from an infected farm. After feeling fatigued for a few days, the man recovered and he is now being treated with an antiviral drug. The current H5N1 strain has been spreading within chicken and turkey flocks in the U.S. since late February. It has been found in commercial and backyard birds in 29 states and in wild birds in 34 states. More than 35 million chickens and turkeys have been killed to avoid further spread, but federal officials say there is little threat to the general public. The CDC has tracked more than 2,500 people who were exposed to infected birds, and the Colorado inmate has been the only confirmed case so far. The State Department of Hawaiian Homelands is close to receiving a record $600 million, much of which will be used to create thousands of homesteads for Native Hawaiians. On Thursday, state lawmakers agreed on a final version of a bill that will deliver the funds. The package includes $488 million for homestead lot development and $112 million that will pay rent or mortgage dues for around 1,120 beneficiaries. With $488 million, the department expects to develop 2,910 homestead lots by 2028 at 11 existing projects on Oahu, Maui, Molokai, Hawaii Island, and Kauai. Beneficiaries can elect to receive $100,000 to put toward rent, a home not on DHHL land, or to pay down a mortgage on a home outside of a DHHL subdivision. Following Thursday's agreement, the legislature is 2 floor votes away from sending the historic measure to Governor David Ige for signing. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.